So this is one of the reasons why a lot of the wealthy people put their stuff into the trust. So moving forward, the issue that you have is, while yeah, you reap the reward of not having to pay taxes on your trust, one of the issues that you fall back on is the asset that is in the trust is no longer considered legally yours. So you're not subject to any estate laws, but you don't have any control over the property personally, because since you are no longer the owner of the trust, because especially in an irrevocable trust, the trust is the new owner of the property, of the asset. uh, the only person that can dictate terms about what happens with that trust would be the trustee. And if you're not the trustee, you got to answer to the trustee. Now, the trustee is legally obligated to provide you access to resources based on the contract that you set up for the trust, which is why you have to be pretty detailed on that trust. But outside of loosely written trust or very light assets in a trust that doesn't require a lot of instruction or directive, you don't own the trust. Now, you can utilize assets like real estate in a trust, but when you utilize assets like real estate in a trust, the trust is now getting the mortgage on a property and investing the property and this, that, and the third. You personally don't own the property to be able to take the property out of a trust and go and do something else with it. The trust has to do it. Now, you as a trustee representing the trust can potentially take it in those revocable trusts, or if you are the beneficiary of the trust and you authorize the trustee to do this, that they could take your assets and invest them in the stocks and real estate and everything like that, and receive benefits from it. And then when the trust receives benefits and pays whatever applicable taxes the trust is required to pay, then the trust gets back assets. That's different from you personally having to pay like sales tax or something like that. When you actually buy or sell something, you're not personally making any money. Now, I know that a lot of people wonder to themselves, well, what happens if I'm on disability? How does this apply to me on disability? I'm gonna get to that. But I wanted to talk to you about the fact that while there are irrevocable trusts here, you have to know when an irrevocable trust benefits you versus when an irrevocable trust does not benefit you. So one of the things that you're going to need to arrange this irrevocable trust is a grantor that transfers assets into the trust. A grantor is the person who originally owned the assets transferring assets into the trust. And the terms of the trust cannot be modified or terminated without the beneficiary's permission, which means that nobody, once this thing is set up, because it's irrevocable, nobody can modify it without the person who's supposed to be receiving benefit from the trust being notified about it. So if you put a house in a trust, if you put money into a trust, if you put stocks into a trust, if your kids are the beneficiary, your kids have to receive notice that they're no longer receiving the benefits from this irrevocable trust before those benefits are terminated. And they sometimes have to consent to that particular change, especially if this is a linear situation. Now, you've got some tax benefits from this, and the irrevocable trust offers significant tax advantages that are a lot higher than having a C corporation or an S corporation